when Hollywood tells the truth.
We are a nation under attack from within.
Cell phone users, beware. The Federal Bureau of Investigation can now hear everything you're saying, even when your cell phone is turned off. Authorities can now activate the microphone inside your phone, allowing them to eavesdrop on you and your conversations. Experts say the only way around this is to take the battery out of the device.
Then I realized the more fulfilling challenge was to work to stop the people who violated our privacy and stole from our personal data.
We are a nation under attack from within.
When Hollywood tells the truth.
People, we're in danger of losing our funding. America isn't interested in space exploration anymore.
Maybe we should finally tell them the big secret.
What's the secret? There are so many.
Ain't no space.
Is it a coincidence Disney owns The Simpsons? The Simpsons showed Bezos and his wife would go to space. They took other famous people. Did they do it for the science or the ratings?
Sir, the TV ratings for the launch are the highest in 10 years.
Yay! And how's this spacecraft doing?
I don't know. All this equipment is just used to measure TV ratings.
They always tell and show us in their own way with symbolism. Watch the countdown at precisely 33 to 33 they start to ring the bell. What do you think about their timing, their symbolism? Does it all mean something or is it just coincidence?
CERN aims to break open portals to Saturn and the underworld so that demons can break into our realm and cause havoc. Max Spears claimed that CERN is continuing the work that Aleister Crowley began in the 1920s to open interdimensional vortexes which would allow demons who have been locked away for a long time to enter our reality and create, quote, hell on earth. Spears mysteriously died not long after publicizing this. This sounds wild until you read Everything You Need to Know by David Icke, where he describes how the area where CERN is located was historically once believed to be a gateway to the underworld, an area dedicated by the Romans to the demonic god Apollyon, the destroyer. The biblical book of Revelation describes Apollyon as the ruler of the abyss, predicting its opening to release a horde of demonic locusts. Interestingly, Icke equates Apollyon to Asia's Shiva, whose statue is coincidentally located at CERN itself. CERN director Sergio Bertolucci himself stated that the Hadron Collider could uncover a portal to facilitate travel between our realm and another dimension. American researcher Anthony Patch claims the LHC replicates the phenomena observed at Saturn's poles, specifically the hexagon storm at the northern pole and the eye storm area at the southern pole, implying that both operate on the same frequencies, potentially forming a wormhole between the two. In the Saturn myth, David Talbot draws on various ancient myths depicting the same idea of a sort of cosmic stargate to Saturn, which was formed when Saturn, Venus, and Mars made a specific celestial alignment, during which the gods could travel back and forth from Saturn to Earth. Shiva is also coincidentally associated with Saturn. Interestingly, Icke also points out how CERN's logo is encoded with 666, which is identified as, quote, the number associated with Saturn and representing the Saturn matrix frequency. Follow me for more hidden knowledge.
So I saw his whole face vibrate, bro. I swear to God, on everything I fucking love and everything I know, his face vibrated like throwing a rock in water and seeing ripples. It had ripples in his face. I guess he couldn't control his skin suit anymore. And then his eyes flashed yellow. I saw his eyes flash like a snake. You know how snakes got the reptilian eyes and shit? Yes, bro, his eyes flashed yellow like that. And I knew he couldn't control his skin suit because he had to be at a certain frequency and a certain vibration and have a certain mental capacity to keep his skin suit under control. And I saw him turn to a reptilian in my fucking face.
We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution, to be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight.
But this is always, and this raise your awareness, like it makes you wonder why there's so many missing people and children. They always slip up in their press conferences and say the babies and the people that we eat. Just a coincidence.
They'll take you. They steal kids like you. Cross them over. Special ones. The power of your mind. That's what they want.
Jake, what's up? Let's go.
Want to out?
Yeah. Boys. It's very common in adolescent boys. There he is. I'm Jill. I'm your intake administration supervisor.
You pack your things?
What exactly do they do at your clinic?
I can assure you that all our tests are done in a controlled, child-friendly environment.
Our approach is actually very gentle compared to standard treatments. I understand your concern.
Hell nah.
You don't have to worry at all.
Help me pack?
Yeah.
What's wrong? What is that?
Hell nah, we can't pack.
It's the skin people from my dream. He's not human. That's not his real face. You have to believe me.
If you do not believe that people have special abilities, mutations, and powers, then please turn around right now, because this small section of this declassified document will change your life forever. The metagene. The metagene is a biological variant lying dormant in select members of the human race until an instance of extraordinary physical and emotional overstress activates it. An energetic chemical is released in response to adverse stimulation. A chromosomal combustion takes place as the metagene takes the source of biostress, be it chemical, radioactive, or whatever, and turns the potential energo response into a catalyst for genetic change. The main focus of the catalyst power is a giant gland in the middle of the human brain called the pineal gland, and the nutrient for increasing the pineal's action is the adrenaline. The metagene factor gives the ability of psionic power. The main interest of the aliens, especially the Greys, is to understand and control the metagene for their own race. They try to do this using biological experiments to make hybrids from both humans and aliens. They believe perhaps the men from the planet Earth are the deadliest creatures in the universe, because only on Earth people are apparently capable of generating the metagene factor, which means natural psionics ability, which is real power. The principal races in the universe are physiologically the same. The pure, cold logic is a normal order to most important races. Basic sameness makes for predictability and security. The enemy one knows are the ones you can guard against. This is not the case with mankind. While most are uniformly human, some, many more, apparently than anyone had dreamed, possessed a latent tendency towards superhumanity, natural psionic abilities. That in itself could prove dangerous for any idea of alien domination on Earth. But couple of mankind's inherent belligerence with the fact of the metagene effects, each human is unique, and Earth becomes a spawning ground for an unpredictable super race if we have the chance. Others have already demonstrated an awareness of man's potential along with the human history. Nordics treat this. This is because the aliens are here to control the Earthlings before we dominate them, and they want our most important secret, the metagene factor, which is the aliens' only hope. And I find this so funny because there are two comic book universes, Marvel Comics universe and DC Comics universe. Marvel calls it the X gene, and it's responsible for the mutants. And in the DC universe, they call it the metagene, and it's responsible for some of the characters like Static Shock. Now, it's funny how the DC Comics fan page website also mentions the metagene in the exact same way And would you like to know what it says? A metahuman is a human being who has a metagene, a genetic mutation being on par with mutants in the Marvel universe, and post-humans and gene active in the Wildstorm universe, which when activated can give them superhuman powers. The activation can occur through different methods, including high levels of physical trauma, chemistry, and magic. The term metahuman was first coined by the alien dominators, and it has been used to describe any human being with what are commonly described as superpowers. And I mean, that's the same thing that I just read to you in that top secret declassified document. So do you still want to believe that there aren't extraordinary people walking amongst us? The declassified document says the same thing as an online created comic books fan. I mean, they put this stuff right in front of us all the time. Now, let's try to figure out how we're going to activate these powers, y'all.
That's very, very, very interesting. Look, make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Let's get this video to right here to like 15,000 likes. But look, check this out. What if the wars that we had in the past have been erased to find details? You know how we can find like ancient like coins that they used hundreds of years ago, and they have like spaceships on them and stuff like that over buildings and shooting beams and stuff. What if we got our ass whooped, man, and they made us forget everything? Everything. They made us war amongst each other just so they can have more time with their experiments. But I have a feeling that time is running out. There are factually people with superhuman abilities. If I had them, I wouldn't tell y'all right now at all until the appropriate time. But you can actually look these things up, and people do have actual superhuman abilities. It's more common than what you think. A lot of people think that you're just going to get up and fly somewhere. A lot of these things have to be worked on, y'all. But do your own damn research, man. We're going to get more into this video. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you like this type of content. If not, it's okay. Just be weird and just keep watching and judging us and watching every day. Being weird. Just go ahead and join us. Stop being creepy. All right, let's get to it, though. Love y'all. Let's get it.
Apparently, about a month before Princess Diana had her accident, she said to a close friend that the royal family are not human, but they are reptiles from the Alpha Draconis star system. Hello, what? Okay, I had to look that up, okay? It's in the shape of a lizard. I don't know what the heck that means. I don't know anymore. This is my driver, and they're weirdly related to Vlad the Impaler, who is a vampire, and reptiles are known cannibals. So that's interesting. Here we go.
Archaeological discovery in Egypt unearthed the figure of a pharaoh with reptilian features. The figure with a leathery surface suggests it's not a statue, but a real being reported to be 9 foot with an injury under its left armpit. Maybe its cause of death. It wasn't mummified. Instead, it was buried unmarked in the Valley of the Kings, Egypt.
Boy, he got the mouth of Baraka from Mortal Kombat, don't he? Boy, you can't get bit by that, boy. You gonna die from an infection. I ain't gonna lie. That mother right here poisonous, ain't he? But remember that wound under his armpit. Excuse me, I'm allergic to his hand that's fucking just growing for no damn reason.
Yo, what even is going on? I took off one day, and I come back to all this crazy, satanic even stuff. We'll get back to the satanic commercial that they put on the news in 1 minute, because what they're actually doing will scare the crap out of you. That is, if you're not protected. So Macron here has a eye. But it gets a lot crazier than just the picture you saw at the beginning, because one, geopolitically wise, but also after people were aware of his eye looking like that, he started wearing sunglasses to hide it later on. So why is he if he just got hurt, you know, like there was an incident, then why would he be covering it up with sunglasses? This is not 2010, where you could walk up with very obvious sinister things happening and no one would know about it. Unrelated, I wonder what got in his eye. And geopolitically, it's crazy because there's a Norvis Ordo Seclorum going on. We just heard about Putin saying that he might nuke Europe, and then this right here happens. People like to point out particular eyes, but I'm telling you, it makes no difference. Obviously, he's got hurt. Then this commercial, this news station, showed a satanic broadcast in the middle of this. Now, I'm gonna tell you just how crazy that is and why. This does not happen by accident. They, the news, had the feed for this. You can't just pick up someone's feed. This isn't a radio. Say I'm reaching, but it's an obvious fact that this was displayed on purpose. If you're a Christian and you know how powerful the name Jesus is, then you have no problem. That is if you call on it. And with the information I'm about to put out in the next day or two, everything is going to get wildly different. So it's very important to remember that fact I just said.
Revealed that the government has the masses under a spell. She told Tasha K that the government is hiding the truth about magic and witchcraft from the masses, claiming that they're doing this in order to keep it to themselves. They want to make sure that they are the only ones with access to the magic and are the only ones able to use it against the masses.
Here to dispel, because people they call you a witch.
Okay, and
I guess with the branding and, ever since like storybooks or fables, any storybook that I can remember in school, witches were bad.
Yeah, that's what they teach you. Yeah. So you don't tap into your power. I mean, why would I tell you that I'm doing a spell on you? I'm going to tell you that spells are bad so that I can do it on you. That's how I feel like society manipulates people, because it's been sensationalized. Like, oh, witchcraft is bad, witchcraft is this, but they're doing witchcraft on you. So yeah, we're all under a spell.
Explain that. Who is who?
The government.
The government's doing witchcraft on people.
Yeah, our money has sigils on it.
Please elaborate, please. I've heard of something like that, but I just be like, here go the wormhole YouTube.
Yeah, we can go before we go down the wormhole, but I'll give it like a surface level.
Go ahead.
So if you look at the dollar, first of all, it's a dead president on it. It's an ancestor off the rip, right? So when you look at the different pyramids and certain lines and how they print their money, it's all a spell. It's all a ritual, right? So every time you touch money, even psychologically, when you're thinking about money, it is all outlined to you. Subliminal, everything. Everything you watch is subliminal when you think about it. Your music is subliminal, the 808s, all the beats, everything. They are 100% controlling us. Yes. So if you know that you're being controlled, now you can't be controlled anymore. But if you don't know, they can continue to control you, and that's what's happening. So, and that's what I meant by people that are manipulated by media, by what they're seeing on TV, by their music. If they don't know that they're being manipulated, it works. If they're awakened and protected from it, it does not. The slave that, hold on.
That's why I don't be afraid of none of that stuff, man. If you're aware, it has no control over you. Just like fear. Like, you know how all of the movies, in order for the monster to kill you, you always have to be afraid. That's because what? That's adrenal what? Finish that up for me. But at the same time, that allows them to, attack your biological structure and compromise you as well.
The slave that is enslaved and know he's a slave will revolt. The slave that doesn't believe that he's enslaved, the slave that thinks that he's being helped, he's being manipulated, will always remain a slave. He's never going to revolt. That literally happens today, all the time.
Give me an example.
Okay, so what I meant by the media, right? Okay. Yeah. When people think of success, they say, okay, I need to go out, I need to buy a mansion, I need to buy Maybach, I need to do this, I need to do that. That is not really what they want. That's what they're being told they want. So they will really be a slave, like going to work 9 to 5, doing this, doing that, not saying nothing wrong with 9 to 5. Yeah, exactly. What I mean is, if that is not your gift, that is not your calling, you're just doing it to get what looks like success, you are being manipulated. Right. And you are a worker for these big corporations that do not have to work now. Because you've already went through school, which basically is either a pipeline for you to be a worker, or you're going to prison, Listen to this real quick. Schools, the cafeterias look exactly like the cafeterias in a prison.
As much as I don't support witchcraft and talk against it, I can't deny that this witch is speaking facts. While I might not agree with what this woman does for a living and what she's involved in, what she is saying about the elites is all facts. The elite have definitely put the masses under one big spell. They have the masses completely controlled using ancient forms of witchcraft and occult knowledge. She is also correct about money being used as a spell on people, bringing up the occult symbols found all over the dollar bill. The fact that the dollar bill has pictures of dead presidents on them, presidents that were all...
Shit's getting weird. Part infinite. I would like to make a formal apology to Shredder. Shredder, I'm sorry. I heard some news today that has shooken my world. Apparently, this guy made a video online talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and how they were reptilians underground eating pizza. And the pizza part is significant because the code word for pizza is pedophiles. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were actually pedophiles eating pizza underground because they were reptilians. And Shredder was trying to take them down. And the reason Shredder could never take them down is because the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had this heifer, the mainstream media, on their side to control the narrative and push the propaganda. Shredder, we're sorry, buddy. Now don't get me wrong, you was moving a little wild. But maybe you were trying to protect us. Maybe you were the good guy. Let me know what y'all think.
Y'all see the turtle shell? Look at the helmet. Don't that look like? Don't that resemble Master Shredder? Who are they fighting against? I wonder. Look at that helmet. Doesn't that look like Master Shredder again? What? Should make you think, don't it?
I, Larson Anders.
Who you hissing at?
Son.
I got a question for y'all though. What do you do? Like, say you are oblivious to everything. You were going to meet the president with your child, and this nigga put your child foot in his mouth. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. See, that's why I can't be around everybody. I can't do that because the minute you violate my kid like that, I'm gonna be in jail. He would got slapped. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like y'all feel me? Y'all don't let nobody else do that to y'all kid. And if you do, you are weird, and you don't need that kid because you'll let anything happen to your child if you let somebody stick your damn child foot in their damn mouth like that. Bruh. That's just like a no-brainer to me. That's a no-brainer to me. You're not protecting your children, bro, if you're letting somebody stick your damn they feet in their damn mouth. Like, absolutely not. Boy, that would have been on I would have been on the world news. They would gave me 100 years. But let's get back to this video. That kind of pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie to you.
How to fight a reptilian, Month 2.
You have been living in the short season of Usatan. That's why Earth has been feeling like hell. Revelation 20. See, the last chapters of the book of Revelations are coming true. The world ended long time ago. Okay? The millennial reign of Unkulunkulu happened. And right after that, you were introduced into the short season in which the serpent, the dragon, has been set loose to deceive the world one last time. And that season has ended. And now that the season has ended, you are bound to see retaliation. Because this serpent, known as the dragon, will be cast into the lake of fire for all eternity, where the false prophet is. Okay? These are the ones that have enslaved y'all. They have been your enemy from the beginning. All because the Most High gave y'all a gift. All because the Most High gave you a gift. They have hated you. Okay? They call them the serpent seed. And they hate your guts. I know some of y'all are gonna be like, you've got close friends of them. Listen, when it's wartime and their alpha issues out a signal to destroy, they will come for you, regardless whether how close you are. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all tools on how to war. Should that arise, should that happen. Okay, so number one, you have to be able to speak the light language. They call it tongues. You have to be able to speak tongues. Okay? I gave y'all a video on how to get the Holy Spirit to help y'all, because it's really the Holy Spirit speaking through you. Aza? Idziana kwatama ichiana itaita. Uzai twarala maetia. Echiana rasha kwatama itzi. Tianata mawata. But if you're saying, okay, it's happening and you haven't gotten that process yet, at least get a bell. You need a bell, okay? If you don't have a bell, okay, at least get a pot. But get that bell. You see that Yizo bell, that one, get a bell, okay? If you are in face-to-face combat, if it happens you are in combat, where you can do damage, and you've got Iten Knot or something sharp, okay? You've got 3 stars, something sharp. You gotta hit them in the armpits. That's where the thing
armpit
can enter. That's where it can penetrate. If you can't get the armpits, the stomach. You have to get them in the stomach. Other points, Ndwana, it's really hard to really penetrate. But armpits, stomach, okay? And if you have done damage, they have ability to heal quickly. If you want to slow that, maybe put them on ice or fire extinguisher, okay? Comprehend. This has been the war from the beginning. And now it's coming to the finalization. It is time for the slavery to end. Y'all know y'all been enslaved. You feel it. Though the slavery this time, they made it sure that it's not upfront, but you feel it. You feel it when you wake up. You feel it when you go to work. You feel it every time you pay a note. You feel it every time the taxman comes. Yes. Somebody's going to say, slavery is not lawful. Yes, slavery is not lawful. But under their business, their organizations, which they call countries, slavery has been made legal. Maybe this picture also is a little distracting for you. Let me give you all something and maybe I can be more comfortable with. Well, they are everywhere. Okay? They are everywhere, especially in your governments, in your places of power, especially in your religions. Vatican, Vetus, diviner. Can means serpent. Vatican is the divining serpent. This is what you have been worshipping with your churches. Yes, they took your holy book. The Bible has been a holy book from the Bantus. It's your history, Montu.
Want to see a blood-drinking reptilian? Meet Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal. The letters in the name Peter Thiel can be reorganized to make the words the reptile. Old Petey boy has pronounced canine fangs. Look at Petey's nose. That should tell you everything you need to know. But anyway, Pete said he wanted to inject himself with young people's blood. Jeff Bercovici of Inc. magazine published an interview in which the venture capitalist explains that he's interested in parabiosis, the practice of getting transfusions of blood from a younger person as a means of improving health and potentially reversing age. Pete said, I'm looking into the parabiosis stuff, which I think is really interesting. The company Peter Thiel is talking about, it's called ambrosia. In Greek mythology, ambrosia was the food or drink of the gods that granted them immortality and eternal youth. 1/3 of your baby's blood is still in that placenta upon birth. According to the National Institute of Health, subnormal blood volume is the rule because of immediate cord clamping. What if they purposely clamp the cord so they can keep the blood? The blood literally comes once in a lifetime. Literally. This blood contains CPH4, which is the atomic bomb of growth. This is the ambrosia. In the movie Lucy, Scarlett Johansson is a drug mule who is surgically implanted with a package containing CPH4, but it leaks into her system, giving her superhuman abilities.
About a single individual. Right. And I see a lot of people just be sitting back waiting on a Messiah. They're waiting on that one person.
But they are too, though.
Who's that?
The other side is far more diligent about looking for that Messiah because they know where to look.
My book, Columbus and the Quest for Jerusalem, is about the reasons behind his plan to sail west to go to the Orient. And of course he was going to get gold, everybody knows about that. He was going to meet the Grand Khan of Cathay to set up a trading post to trade for gold and spices that was going to finance a crusade to take over Jerusalem. And in fact, it wasn't just to mount the crusade to take Jerusalem. That was part of a whole apocalyptic scenario. And that was only the first step, because in order for Christ to come again before the end of the world, Jerusalem had to be in Christian hands, the temple had to be rebuilt.
But E.E. Calloway is content, for he has found the Garden of Eden. Well, Mr. Calloway, you say that this is the Garden of Eden. There it is.
I think about in the center of the garden, north and south. The Garden of Eden, east and west, is not over 10 miles wide, paralleling the river from Chattahoochee down to Bristol. But you're right in the center of it here at Torrey State Park, north and south, between Chattahoochee and Bristol.
Well, now, according to the Bible, the Garden of Eden must have trees pleasant to the sight, and it must have gold and onyx stone and a river of 4 heads. Is this one of the rivers?
This is the Pison River, which is mentioned in the 2nd chapter of Genesis, when it says, a river went out of Eden to water the garden and parted and became into 4 heads. The tree life from Chattahoochee to Bristol is the largest of any other area in the world. The Bible names 28 trees. The best authority on earth have identified 27 of them here, and many, many more, including the gopherwood tree. The Bible names those 4 river heads as the Pison, the Gihon or Gihon, the Hiddekel, and the Euphrates. The first one was the Pison. The Bible says that is it that compasses the land of Havilah, which was North Florida before the flood. The Bible says, that is it that compasseth the land of Havilah, which was North Florida, before the flood.
As with many stories that have cropped up in the last 10 to 15 years, this one starts with something named Chan. In this case, not 4chan or Chris Chan, but rather Chan Thomas, full name Chauncey Powers Thomas, born in 1920 in Clay, Missouri. He did contribute a very specific document, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, about how the CIA censored something. Prior to releasing a document he titled The Adam and Eve Story, Chan got an electrical engineering degree from Dartmouth, his master's from Columbia, and then went on to get a further degree at Harvard. Now, Thomas worked for a contracting firm that worked with the United States Air Force back in the 1960s. As the story goes, the Adam and Eve story was published by Emerson House in 1965, but was immediately seized and censored by the CIA. It was banned from circulation, and the whole idea of them censoring this book has become its own conspiracy theory as to why they did it at all, let alone what censoring a book at the federal level does to conspiracy theories, because now everybody assumes that there's something really, really important in that book that the government does not want people to know. To make it clear here that a lot of websites, a lot of conspiracy theories suggest that this is in fact a CIA document that was classified. That's not the case. This was an outside document that the CIA in some way classified. We don't know precisely what. It's unclear to what extent they said you can't publish this. It was an outside source that they then said, hey, nobody can be allowed to find this.
According to this document, they knew that all of the biblical places was in North and South America, and that the world flood started in America. Remember what the elders said.
The Bible says, that is it that compasseth the land of Havilah, which was North Florida, before the flood.
The latest of the challengers is Professor Frank C. Hibben, who in his book, The Lost Americans*, said, "This was no ordinary extinction of a vague geological period which fizzled to an uncertain end. His death was catastrophic and all-inclusive. What caused the death of 40 million animals? The corpus delicti in this mystery may be found almost anywhere. Their bones lie bleaching in the sands of Florida and in the gravels of New Jersey. They weather out of the D-white terraces of Texas and protrude from the sticky ooze of the tar pits off Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. The bodies of the victims are everywhere. We find literally thousands together. Young and old, full with D.im, calf with cow. The muck pits of Alaska are idled with evidence of universal death. A picture of quick extinction. Any argument to the cause must apply to North America, Siberia, and Europe as well. With a rumble so low as to be inaudible, growing, throbbing, then fuming into a thundering roar, the earthquake starts, only it's not like any earthquake in recorded history. In California the mountains shake like ferns in a breeze, the mighty Pacific rears back and piles up into a mountain of seawater more than 2 miles high, hence starts its race eastward. With the force of 1,000 armies the wind attacks, ripping, shredding everything in its supersonic bombardment. The unbelievable mountain of Pacific seawater follows the wind eastward, burying Los Angeles and San Francisco as if they were but grains of sand. Nothing, but nothing, stops the relentless, overwhelming onslaught of wind and ocean. Across the continent the 1,000-mile-per-hour wind wreaks its hell, its unholy vengeance, everywhere, mercilessly, unceasingly. Every living thing is ripped into shreds while being blown across the countryside, and earthquakes leave no place untouched. In many places the Earth's molten sublayer breaks through and spreads a sea of white-hot liquid fire to add to the Holocaust. Within 3 hours the fantastic wall of seawater moves across the continent, burying the wind-ravaged land under 2 miles of seething water coast to coast. In a fraction of a day all vestiges of civilization are gone, and the great cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, Dallas, New York, Boston, are nothing but legends. Western Africa and the sands of the Sahara vanish in nature's wrath, under savage attack by wind and ocean. The area bounded by Zaire, South Africa, and Kenya suffers only severe earthquakes and winds, little inundation. Survivors there marvel at the sun, standing still in the sky for nearly half a day.
You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer is over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still going to be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer.
Where there is gold, and the gold of that land is G-O-O-D. The Bible used that adjective to describe the North Florida gold to further tie down the exact location of the Garden of Eden. The next verse says there's also bdellium there, which is nothing but rosin out of pine trees that God instructed Noah to pitch the ark out of, and onyx stone. which is marble. And North Georgia, right where this great river has its source, the Tate Marble Quarry and company there, Tate, Georgia, is one of the largest. So the natural monuments definitely mentioned and described in the Bible as being related to the Garden of Eden are here, and they are not anywhere else on this earth.
Not only are we sitting in the Garden of Eden, but we're also sitting in an area where you say Noah built the ark.
Noah built the ark out of gopher wood, which God selected himself for him to build it out of.
Is this the only place that you know of?
This is the only place on this earth where it has ever grown.
So Noah built the ark out of gopher wood. Do you know that tree only grow in Florida, bro? I did my research. It don't grow nowhere else.
The liar knows what lie he told. And so even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer is over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still going to be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer.
The Kingdom of Judah was in Utah. The best-selling book When Rocks Cry Out by Horace Butler has already demonstrated that Peru was Jerusalem and that the Kingdom of Judah is in Utah. The strange thing about the description of the Kingdom of Judah given in Deuteronomy chapter 34 is that all these biblical place names can be found in Utah, such as Manasseh, Utah, Mount Nebo, Utah, Mount Pisgah, Utah, Jericho, Utah, South Gilead Way, Utah, Ephraim, Utah, Daniel, Utah, Nephi, Utah, short for Naphtali, Moab, Utah. Many other biblical names are found in Utah, such as Goshen, Utah, Jordan Salt Lake, which could possibly be the real Dead Sea. There is a mountain in eastern Nevada named Mount Moriah, and it's over 12,000 feet high. In Utah, not only is there a river Jordan, but it runs out of a freshwater lake and into the Great Salt Lake, which is remarkably like the Dead Sea. There is also a Mount Nebo in Utah, approximately 12,000 feet high. So yes, with evidence this strong, the real Judah was possibly in Utah. Now, people often try to say that it was the Mormons that gave these places names in Utah, biblical names to support their position as Jews. However, this explanation fails miserably because there are no 12,000 feet high mountains in modern-day Jerusalem. Therefore, the real Judah or Israel has to be in Utah because it fits the description of the Kingdom of Judah perfectly.
Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity.
Do you remember the Gospel of Matthew, where the three wise men go and visit the newborn Lord? Yes, the Negroids. Excuse me? It's African American?
Bro, listen, you see that man right there walking? That white man right there? Boy, bro, I haven't been, oh my God. You see this dragon right here? This is literally what I'm about to talk about, bro. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, that white man is a fucking reptilian. Bro, he's a reptilian. Like, I'm asking him about tailgating. Bro. And when he came up and talked to me, he wasn't the typical pale skin and like acting like he didn't want to talk. Bro, that man got close as fuck, like right here up on me, talking, looking me in my eyes. Bro, when I say this nigga pupils were slanted, like, bro, when I looked him in his eyes the first time, bro, my heart fluttered. Like on some like how you get nervous or something just spooked you a little bit, or you like, oh, I'm nervous or something. Bro, my heart fluttered, bro, when I looked this nigga in his eyes, bro. Them fucking pupils were, boy, oh my God, bro. Bro, the nigga pupils were slanted. Not no contacts, nothing. The nigga, bro, he just is what he is. Bro, was definitely cool, know what I'm saying? He got all the way in my aura field. He got all the way in my aura field type shit. That's probably what I was feeling. Know what I'm saying?
He's feeling that energy.
And bro, I keep saying it, but the nigga pupils was slanted, bro. Bro, and just talking to me cool as fuck. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Now I'm like, appreciate it, and then he just, and then smile and walk off. My heart still beating because, bro, I know what the fuck I just seen. I know what the fuck this world and life shit is. And I just know, boy, what the fuck? And then when I came here to tell y'all, the dragon was right there. Boy, what the fuck is going on? Bitch, my heart is beating fast right now. Bro, nigga, I'm encountering with fucking reptiles. Boy, hold on now. They getting closer and closer. But what I noticed, boy, okay.
hate saying it this way, but like, who's going to win? Like the Draco agenda or the Pleiadian agenda? How do you see that playing out with humanity and our own frequency as we transition to 4D?
Yes, I certainly believe, and then again, it's to me, it's common sense, because the Pleiadians will win, simply because they do exist, because we still survive, and we still evolve.
Oh, okay.
So if they do exist in the future and we are the ancestors, it is clear to me that, of course, humanity will survive. And the Dracos might still do their own thing, but it doesn't mean that they will win whatever they decide to do. So I don't believe that planet Earth will become theirs. I don't believe that they will win over that. I think that as the evolutionary process happens, it will also shift their own frequency. They're not aware of that, but the frequency of the planet Earth will also modify their own.
The Dracos?
Yes, of course. It will change everybody's frequency. This is part of who the Pleiadians are today as well. Right?
So they're trying to almost help the Draco in some sense.
It will help everybody,
that's okay.
Not just us. So everybody will benefit from it, because we'll have a much different understanding of who they are. And why do you think that in the future, for example, like we talked about this, that the Galactic Alliance had the Draco on board?
That's right, and they broke away.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So at some point in time, they had this frequency, check, and they got these downloads, and they became more superior, but also more ethical.
Sure.
So they became part of the Galactic Alliance through that process.
They de-evolved, or they just the frequency changed?
No, what happened was they became more greedy, and for some reason, something happened down the line. Like, I'm talking about the future here.
Yeah.
When they separated from the Galactic Alliance, is because they decided to change this timeline on Earth.
Okay.
Without telling the Galactic Alliance.
Oh, they broke protocol.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when it first started. And so they decided to change their own DNA and come back to Earth as well, because that's where they came from.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Wow.
This is a very deep conversation here, because
I love it.
It's very complex, and it branches out to so many other races and agendas that nobody even thought about.
Well, our audience is ready for this. They can take it.
Okay.
This is mind blowing. We have the Draco agenda. We have the Pleiadian agenda. What's next? Like, what's going to happen next with these two competing agendas? What are we going to see?
Well, in my eyes, it's leading to the same outcome. Because, like we talked about, if the Pleiadians have their own agenda trying to raise humanity's consciousness to the next level, the Dracos don't so much care about that today.
Yeah.
But with cosmic events, they will be directly impacted by that too. So therefore, their own consciousness will also change and be modified in a positive way. And then none of the agendas will no longer matter once we go to the next level and go into the 4D and 5D. So, they somehow believe that today they have to take over humanity, for example, and take over planet Earth because they believe it's theirs. But none of this will matter after the cosmic events.
Okay.
Because they will simply just embrace whatever comes, and it will become like a shift in their own consciousness.
Right.
Same as the Pleiadians are working towards that today, and they feel that it's not conflicting. So that's why they are not alarmed by what's going on.
But besides the cosmic events that can shift our frequency, like what can people do today? What practices or their own protocols can they initiate to help the transition?
Yes. I think most people already do meditations and these sort of things, which is kind of standard. But what is very important is to accept timelines, like the right timeline for yourself. Because if you believe that in positivity and you stay in that mindset of being positive, regardless of what I'm talking about today and about the agendas and these sort of things, if people believe that they can prevent or stop a potential war, for example, then those events will occur. But you truly have to believe that this is reality, that this is it. You can't stay away from having doubts. If you have doubts, whatever meditations, protocols you have don't work. You need to be certain. That's the only way moving forward, is to be certain of whatever you know, whatever you believe in is there, and regardless of what other people talk about. So this will create a shift in consciousness.
Wow. Okay.
That's the only one way. There's no other way.
Okay, this has been a theme in Cosmic lately about belief, and your own belief will lead to positive adjustments.
Yes.
Now, there's this old adage about like you don't fight the old. It's something terrible. You don't fight it. You just concentrate on like building the new.
Yes.
I say that because like how we go forward, should we be fighting against these reptilian agendas, or should we be more focused on our own personal development and moving forward at a higher vibration?
Yeah, I think it's both.
Okay.
There's a survival trigger there. Like the humanity, let's say, if they are faced with an alien agenda that is negative or seems negative, to us at the beginning, we will obviously automatically defend ourselves.
Yeah.
That's what we do, because we don't really think of anything else. That's the only survival instinct that we have. However, if we truly believe that this reality doesn't have to happen, then we could modify it before it happens. And starting today, we could do that today. Changing the timeline so those events will never happen. There will be a shift in the timeline that things could get delayed. I'm talking about earthquakes, anything that could potentially happen, we could delay things simply by thinking it.
Even hardcore physical
earthquakes.
Events.
Everything in the universe can be impacted through the thoughts process. Consciousness.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, Sebastian, that's really.
I'm with you. That's what he said. Gathering his people like words in red. From the east, from the west, they coming back. North, give up. South, don't hold back. Sons from far, daughters from men, scattered by men, restored by him. What they broke, he put back right. Long night ending in gather light. Wait on me, that's the sound. When the Most High rise up off the ground. This ain't chance, this ain't luck. This is prophecy linking back up. We coming back, yeah, we coming home. Gather together, no more alone. Renown and praise in the earth again. Restore before your eyes. Say amen. Drums of war, saints in the sky. Israel rise, now the time. Drums of war, saints in the sky. Israel rise, now the time. He said he'll gather kingdoms too. Nations lining up for the truth. Fierce anger, fire like jealousy. Earth shook when he moved for me. But after the fire, jettison. Way as I'm boast of the great I am. History bends when he speaks again. What was last now rises to reign. Wait on him, the word is sealed. What he said will be revealed. Nations rage, but time expires. Truth returns, dressed in fire. Rise, true Israel, rise. Your captivity is over. Your head, open your eyes. True Israel rise. The time is now. Israel rise.
Tash Norse mythology and the hidden knowledge of the cosmic energy grid, the false light matrix, and the nature of reality. Norse mythology is not just stories. It's a complex system of encoded metaphysical truths about the nature of reality, the electromagnetic universe, and the battle between sovereignty and control. Everything we've discussed, the false light matrix, ley lines, energetic harvesting, and the structure of our realm, can be found in Norse cosmology. Let's break it all down. 1. Yggdrasil, the cosmic axis, the world tree, and the energy grid. Yggdrasil represents the true structure of reality, not outer space, not an endless vacuum. Yggdrasil describes an interconnected, multi-dimensional system. The world tree is the cosmic axis, a central energy conduit, much like the electromagnetic toroidal field we've discussed. The roots extend into the underworld, subconscious lower realms. The trunk supports Midgard, the physical plane, and the branches stretch into the heavens, higher consciousness. The North Pole, the magnetic center, and the Black Rock, Rupa Snigra. Many ancient depictions of Mount Meru, the Black Rock, and Shambhala align with Norse descriptions of Yggdrasil's roots being at the center of Midgard. The North Pole may be a powerful energy vortex, hidden from modern explorers to suppress its true purpose. If the North Pole is a massive electromagnetic center, it would explain why compasses point north and why no-fly zones are enforced. Yggdrasil equals the cosmic electromagnetic grid, the toroidal field that sustains and connects realms. 2. The Bifrost Bridge and interdimensional travel Bifrost equals the electromagnetic spectrum and frequency gateways. The Bifrost Bridge is the pathway between Midgard, Earth, and Asgard, the higher realm. It's described as a rainbow bridge, symbolizing different frequency spectrums of light and energy. This aligns with the idea that access to higher consciousness, or even physical travel to different lands, requires vibrational shifts. Hidden realms exist beyond what we can see. Norse mythology teaches that multiple realms exist beyond Midgard, Earth, yet they are not accessible in physical form unless certain energetic conditions are met. What if these realms are not distant planets, but other frequency layers of our own realm? Bifrost equals the ability to move beyond the false light matrix through vibrational mastery. Taz 3, the gods as cosmic forces and the battle between control and sovereignty. Odin, Thor, and the war against the Archons, Jutnar. Odin represents wisdom, self-mastery, and the seeker of higher knowledge. Thor represents divine protection and the force that shatters illusions, Mjolnir's frequency weapon. The Jotnar giants represent the chaotic, consuming forces that seek to control and destroy. Ragnarok equals the cyclical reset of the realm. Ragnarok is the destruction and rebirth of the world, similar to the mud flood resets and cataclysms we've discussed. The world is not a linear progression, but a cyclical event where old structures collapse and new ones emerge. The current system, the false light matrix, may be a phase of Ragnarok where we must reclaim sovereignty or be reset once again. Norse mythology describes an ongoing battle between the forces of control and those who seek liberation. Okay. The serpent, Kundalini energy, or the false light deception. Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent and the Kundalini force. Jormungandr is the serpent that encircles Midgard, keeping it contained. Could this represent the energy field of the Earth? The electromagnetic toroidal structure that loops back on itself. Serpents in esoteric traditions represent Kundalini energy, but is Jormungandr a natural force or a control mechanism? Fenrir, the great wolf and the unleashing of sovereignty. Fenrir, the wolf that destroys Odin at Ragnarok, is symbolic of a force that breaks illusion. Could this represent the destruction of false gods, external authority, and the illusion of control? The Norse myths suggest that the current reality is bound by an energetic loop, but that loop can be broken. 5. Norse mythology and the false light matrix. How it all connects. Yggdrasil is the cosmic electromagnetic structure, hidden behind modern distortions of physics. The North Pole may be the true energetic center, with restricted access to prevent awakening. Bifrost represents the ability to shift between realms via frequency mastery. Ragnarok is the cyclical destruction of false systems, possibly connected to mud floods, resets, and energetic shifts. The gods are not literal figures, but archetypal forces representing the struggle between control and liberation. The serpent and the wolf symbolize the forces of containment and the breaking of control. Norse.
But damn, man, what an amazing video. It looks like I'm in... Did I die, nigga? Like, am I in heaven now? Like, bro, the sun that came up, man, and this is absolutely diabolical. But look, man, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video right here, man. What y'all think is going on, man? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure y'all subscribe so I can get these videos as soon as they drop. The live streams will be starting pretty soon. But I'm excited. Hopefully y'all excited for some new shit. But I see y'all in the next video. Like I always say, spread love because there's too much hate in this world. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next video. And I'm out though. Bye.